Hey guys, I'm back for the next part of the Sonic Forces speedrun tutorial, and in this video we're going over Network Terminal, which is the next modern Sonic only level. So, let's get into it. So this level is split into two sections. Now, there's this first part out here where, well, you're outside of the network terminal, whatever, chemical plant, and the second half is where you're inside of the chemical plant. So I'm just going to call these the indoor and outdoor sections. So with the indoor section, or with the outdoor section I mean, the focus of the outdoor section is basically rail jumping. What I mean by that is you're on a rail, and then you're jumping to another rail, be it one that's close by or one that's in the distance. There's a few rail jumps that we do here. Now to explain the rail jump, basically, let me get some boost over here. Let me just kill that guy, and go back to the beginning. Alright, so basically what that means is, you see how I have some boost in my meter, right? Well, it means while I'm on a rail, I basically do like a boost jump, like kind of like how you do for the egg gate skip. Basically, I tap the boost button, and then I quickly tap the jump button, and then I do a boost jump when I'm on the rail, and then I use that jump to get to a rail in the distance, like that. Like how I just did a boost jump right there, and I just kind of jumped to that rail in the distance. I'm just gonna die here. So the outdoor section of this level takes a few uses of those rail jumps. Rail jumping is the name of the outdoor game here. So when you start off, you're going to be in that auto run, and when you get to, let me switch for it. When you get to this this bar right here that I'm standing on, when you get to this bar, you'll want to do a double jump over to those enemies in the distance. You'll want to homing attack the first enemy, and then stomp, and then you'll want to boost into the other enemy. Although, just for the sake of the tutorial, I'm just gonna kill him so he stops attacking me. And then when you get to the this point, you stomp after defeating the first enemy. You're boosting into this enemy, and then as you're boosting, you do a boost jump over to in the distance to that rail that you can see sort of over there where Sonic is facing. You can see it there at the bottom left, and basically you use the boost to do a jump over to that rail. Just like that. And then you boost up until you get to this this part over here, and then make sure you have a little bit of your boost left in your meter. And there's one more boost jump we're going to be doing. So you see that part of the rail where it starts turning to where it starts curving to the left? Well, we're going to go to the rail on the right, and then you know how I mentioned the quick like tap boost jump rail jump that you do? So you're going to do one of those to the rail in the distance again. So remember, you're going to go to the rail on the right, do a boost jump, and do it to the rail in the distance. So boost jump, double jump, and there we go. All I was doing for that is, as soon as I did the boost jump, I did the jump, and then I did a double jump, and then I started kind of holding an upright position, because the rail that you're aiming for is more of like a upright angle away from the rail you're currently on. So I aim in that direction, I do the double jump, and then I land on the rail. So I'm just going to go through that again, because the rail jumps are probably the trickiest part of this stage, especially the one at the beginning. Honestly, the one at the second one that you do isn't as difficult if you keep the same angle each time you do the rail jump. It's not super difficult. It's the beginning one here, because this rail is actually further away, can be a little tricky. So remember, I stomp after defeating the first enemy, and then I boost into the next enemy to get some of my boost gauge filled up, and then I do the jump to the rail in the distance. And for this, I'm holding kind of an up left position for it, because that's where the rail is. There we go. And then I boost. I let go of boost, make sure I still have a little bit left. You see there's a little blue sliver, which means that I still have some boost left, which is good, because you need boost to do the second rail jump. And then when the rail starts curving to the left, I go to the rail on the right, and then I do the boost jump to the rail in the distance, holding an upright position. Go to the right rail, boost jump, double jump, and there we go. So that one is, as I said, I think it's, at the very least, I personally believe it's the easier of the two boost jumps that you do on the rails. Whichever one you do, you should still be practicing both. It's especially kind of more crushing for the beginning one because of the little animation that plays at the beginning of the stage. You have to go through that every time you die and fail the boost jump, so you might as well just practice them both an equal amount because they are definitely the more trickier parts of the stage in the speedrun. So I'm going to move into the indoor part of the stage now, which is the second half of the stage. For this free fall, you just hold X. Not really much to say. Alright, I'm gonna slow down here. So, first thing I should mention is that the water that falls down from the sky, or from the inside, from the ceiling, these are also on cycles, kind of like the legs in Guardian Rock. Now, the strat for these is basically memorize the cycles and make sure you time your boosts and your homing attacks accordingly. Because if you get caught under a water stream when you're doing a boost or a homing attack or whatever, there's a good chance that you will get caught and you will plunge to your death. So that's definitely something you want to avoid. Alright, so when you start off, you saw how I just kind of stomped into, from the free fall part into here. I touched these speed pads. Now, as soon as I get to the edge here, I'm going to be just spamming jump so I can get out of the auto run. And then when I get right... Alright, so you see where Sonic is standing right now. When I get right there, I just stomp immediately so I can just go down this little area faster, just like this. See how I touched those orange rings that were on the left? And then I spammed that stomp to get here, and now here I am. So most of this second half of the level is pretty self-explanatory. It's just knowing the path that you have to take and just practicing the path. So I get that boost capsule, I slide down here to the left, and then I do a boost jump off of this platform, and I homing attack the enemies in the distance. And then I boost forward, stomp here, boost forward again, and, oh, let me wait for this water. I do a double jump, extended jump to get over here. And when I get onto this platform, I stomp, well, I'd be stomping, and then I slide, and then I do a boost, and then I do another slide. Basically to get myself up to max speed. Oh, that was a little sloppy. Just like that. And then I hold right so I can go inside of this tube right here. Alright. So this is the biggest part of the level where you'll have to watch out for the cycles. Basically, as soon as the water stream stops moving, you want to hold down a boost, homing attack these two enemies, and then you want to land on the rightmost platform of the spinning thing right there. So I'm gonna wait for the water. Alright, so you see how I landed on it? Now, actually, the cycles are kind of messed up now. It wouldn't be like this if you're actually doing a run of the stage, but the gist of this part is to do a extended jump from the rightmost platform over to the last part of the level. So you'll notice if I do an extended jump here, oh, actually, I should wait for the water. Yeah, when I try to explain it, the cycles get all messed up, so it's a little harder to demonstrate. I'll do it from the checkpoint. Alright, so I'm going to go to the rightmost platform and do a quick extended jump to get to the next part of the level. Just like that. See? So I did the extended jump as I was in motion, and then I landed up here, and this is, if you go through the top path, this is where it would eventually take you. So this is a really convenient shortcut. Oh, yep. Yeah, see, I got pushed down by the water. It's something you want to avoid. But, yeah, if you start over from the checkpoint, you just quickly homing attack those two guys. I missed the stompy. You quickly homing attack those three enemies, and then you boost, and then once you land over, or once Sonic is over the rightmost platform, you stomp on it, and then do a quick extended boost jump to get to the next part of the level. I'll demonstrate that in quick succession here. Just like that. So the boost jump was, when I was first learning this stage, the boost jump there was actually like one of, like, it was like the scariest part of the stage for me because I was really inconsistent with the boost jump. But once I learned the consistent method with it, as I explained back in part 0, I became a lot more confident in this, and this is definitely the easiest part of the stage for me now. It's really, like I said, the rail jumps at the beginning that are definitely a little more scary for me. So anyway, as you're doing that extended jump, you would normally keep boosting along through the level, and you would homing attack this enemy right here, or this one. It's actually either of these two enemies, so either the one that's here or the one that's here. You can homing attack either of them, and then you would just do a boost to land on those orange rails, or orange rings, I mean. And as soon as you get off of those orange rings, you want to keep holding the boost button. And then there's a rail in the middle, and you want to jump onto that. Jump into that. Just keep on jumping into the orange rings, basically. Make sure you don't fall to your death. You gotta remember to jump. You can't just boost off of the orange rings, because the rails don't directly take you to those orange rings. It's very important that you remember that, because there have been some times where I just forget to jump while I'm on that rail in the middle at the end of the stage, and I just fall to my death. So it's very important that you don't forget that. Alright, so before I do my run-through of the stage, I'm going to go over the rail jumps at the beginning a few more times, just to make sure I have those down pat under for you guys. So let's go back over there. So remember, when you start off the level, wait until you get to right here. Wait until you get to this line right here to do the double jump to the enemies up front. Homing attack the first one, and then stomp. Boost into the next enemy, and then do the boost jump over to the rail in the distance. Gonna wait for that projectile to pass by. Use up some of your boost, let go, and make sure you still have some boost left over in your boost container. If you don't have any boost left, then you won't be able to do the rail jump. Alright, now I'm going to the rightmost rail, and then as soon as the curve starts, I'm going to do the double jump, or I'm going to do the rail jump, or with the double jump, while holding an upright position so I can land on the rail in the distance more easily. There we go, and I'm all good. Just like that. So as you can see, those rail jumps are something, or those rail jumps are the parts of the stage that I personally think you should be practicing the most. Other than that, there's the indoor section, which as long as you know the general path, it's pretty self-explanatory. Only part I guess you should really practice the most in the indoor section is the extended jump, and as well as the part in the middle where you have to slide to get to the pipe that takes you to the extended jump area. But other than that, that's most of the stage down pat. So without further ado, I guess, I will go through the stage explaining as I go. So let's take a look at that. So I'm going to start off with a double jump to the enemy in the distance, as well as I'm going to follow that up with a stomp, and then a boost jump to the rail in the distance. There we go. Let go of my boost, and make sure I still have some boost left. And then I'm going to do the other rail jump to the rail in the distance here. Just to note that if you wait too long to do the double jump, then you won't be able to do the double jump. Alright, so I'm going to stomp over to these speed pads. Going to do the stomp here. Slide under that platform. Going to do the boost jump. Extended jump to get up here. Do the slide under those enemies. Get into this pipe. Do the extended jump here. Homing attack this guy, and then do the boost. Now I'm just going to boost straight forward. Going to jump again, and there we go. Always remember to do the jump at the end of the stage there. So yeah, that was Network Terminal. Network Terminal is, honestly, besides the rail jumps, I think it's a pretty fun stage to IL. Honestly, this is also one of my favorite stages to IL. Capital City is still my favorite, but Network Terminal isn't a bad stage by any means. It's pretty fun to go through, provided you get the first rail jump at the very least. As far as times go for this stage, in your New Game Plus run, when you're starting off, I would say anything between a 54 or a 1 minute time, as in like 1 minute flat. Anything in between those two is a great time to start off with. Now, that's about it for Network Terminal. It's a fun stage to go through as long as you have the rail jumps down pat. That's everything for Network Terminal in this video. I will see you guys in the next video about Classic Sonic's Death Egg. See you then.